que ça soit trop fort non plus. Faut que ça reste quand même relaxant. Alors, ça celle-ci.
Welcome, welcome to our tour of guilds, governance, and a grand vista. We begin here on Upper Broadway, near the Hubwards Gate. Then a quick stroll towards the city centre, past the Royal Art Museum, centrepiece of the collection, the painting of the Mona Og by Leonard of Quern, with its cheeky grin. A little further down we see V.S. Johnson's famous Cruet House. These buildings were originally intended as an ornamental cruet set for Lord Snapcase. As was so often the case with Johnson's designs, his dyscalculia meant that when completed, the structures could accommodate several families and their businesses. As we proceed past the junction with the street of cunning artificers, note the surviving section of the old city wall. Let's carry on down Upper Broadway and pass the Royal Bank of Ankh-Morpork and the Temple of Fate. If you'd like to know more about those, I suggest you join me on my tour of towers, temples, and theatrical treats. Here we turn into Widdershins Broadway. Any particularly unusual sounds or smells most probably emanate from the patricians' menagerie, which is in the palace grounds behind the wall. Carrying on, we pass the Central Post Office. You may choose to avail yourself of this facility and send a letter or indeed an amusing postcard to those back home. And why not purchase one of their ingenious stamps, now much sought after collector's items? In fact, Ankh-Morpork Post Office is the largest producer of postage stamps in the world. Next is the Fool's Guild, which merits a closer look. Behind the locked doors, you may just see the tip of the great circus top. The Guild Museum is a fascinating place to visit, but requires a prior appointment. I recommend visitors do not wear their best clothes, and you may wish to carry a towel. They have a rather unusual way of welcoming guests. Next we see the Assassin's Guild. You may hear the toll of the inhumation bell, which tells us that the assassins are hard at work. Moving on, we're treated to a fine view of the patricians' palace and grounds. The palace used to be the royal winter residence for the old kings of Ankh, as in the winter, Ankh-Morpork's unique smell is not quite as unique as in the summer. Let's take a moment to look at the Brass Bridge, the largest bridge in Ankh-Morpork, and observe the 8 hippos ranged along its parapet. It is said that if danger ever threatens the city, they will run away at once. Hippos or not, unfortunately, we shan't cross the bridge today. Instead, we'll turn down Pleaders Row and pass a series of guild buildings. The first is the Thieves Guild, located in the old Ankh-Morpork courthouse. That's the building with a grand facade displaying the city coat of arms. Above is a dome, topped by the figure of justice. I'll take a moment here to give you some advice on thieves in our city. If you are fortunate enough to be accosted by one of our expert and justly world-famous criminals, then you must ask to see their badge and identification. All guild thieves are obliged to offer their ID without complaint, and that way you will know that the service will be fair and of a professional standard. You should always receive a receipt, which you must keep with you and on your person. Next, we pass the Plumbers Guild. If you need to spend a penny, I recommend this is the place to do it. The cloakrooms are the most sophisticated and splendid in the city. walking around and pass the Alchemist's Guild, this building is almost always being renovated following an explosion. We must take great care as we walk past. If you see me begin to run away, I recommend that you follow. Now you'll see we are passing the Guild of Lawyers building. I do not recommend that we stop and look too long here, as if we are observed, we may receive a writ. Let's continue along Magdalen Walk and cross the Magdalen Bridge. Note the remains of the monument erected by citizens to commemorate the famed Ankh-Morpork smell. And so on into Cronon Houghton, the Lodros Street, and past the Small Gods Overflow Cemetery. If your interests include funerary art, there are several examples of fine carving here. The various religious sects within our city have their own burial customs, and the final resting places of their devotees make for an interesting display of religious and votive folk art. If you're looking to bury someone special, and in need of ideas. Let's walk a little further along, and we'll arrive at the Ankh-Morpork Experience theme park, which is well worth a visit. Feeling energetic, then please come with me as we turn into Garstairs and up Mithering Heights and the old Tump Hill Walk to the top of the Tump. Here we are at the top. This used to be the site of an old tower, but is now the location of the head office of the Grand Trunk Company. It is the highest point of the city, and I hope you'll agree the views are well worth the climb. If your appetite for sightseeing is still not sated, then follow me back down from the Tump. Walk along Mithering Heights and turn into Spa Lane. We pass the Hope Springs Hydropathic Establishment and Hotel, which I highly recommend. Let's continue downhill, turning into Water Street and down to Mortlake. There are rowing boats for hire here, or you may wish to take a swim. Just make sure you keep to the designated areas. Let's carry on to the water bridge, which crosses the Ankh, passing the ruins of the old viaduct. The unseen university campus is clearly visible here, with its impressive Tower of Art, which is both the oldest and the tallest building in the whole city. The university also houses a vast library. As a general rule, the university campus is not open to the public, but a visitor's ticket may be obtained if you have an plan on undertaking some research. And that brings us to the end of our tour. I do hope you have enjoyed yourself. Please do come back again.